are. This is big time. We need help. Help!
When the police arrived, they were met by a highly aggressive and well-organized faction of Ukraine's right sector, who provoked the police into a violent reaction against peaceful protesters, which is all the Western intelligence media reported on. Predictably, this resulted in more unrest and violence, which was further fueled by U.S. Senator John McCain's support of the protests. Leaked phone calls reveal that the U.S. State Department was orchestrating this coup d'etat from within the U.S. Embassy, with support from Vice President Joe Biden. On February 20th, unidentified snipers, firing from government buildings occupied by the protesters, began firing into the crowd, killing people on all sides. Yanukovych's home and offices were taken by armed mobs, and a new government was put into place with a neo-Nazi element that went on to accept the IMF's spurious loan offer and began murdering the Russian-speaking population of Ukraine in Donbass. As a result of this Western-created quagmire, 96% of the people in Crimea voted in favor of joining Russia. And while the nation celebrated, Western media reported that they were invaded by Russia. Their proof? A Russian military presence which has existed there since 1804. Supporting a criminal war against Russia does not make you a patriot. It makes you a useful idiot of the globalist banking cartel. The very same entities waging war on all of humanity with vaccine passports and experimental jabs. A righteous patriot would call out his government for war crimes. And through fraud and deceit, the United States government has been the world's biggest purveyor of war crimes for decades, all in the name of spreading McDonald's, genetically modified foods, and sexual perversions worldwide.
All right. Okay, that's about as hyperbolic as I'm going to get. There I am. Hey, how's it going, people? Yeah. Got a few bits I want to unpack here. That was a bit hyperbolic, wasn't it? Wasn't me. I just let it happen. All right. Excuse me. So I got a phlegm in my throat. Not very loud, am I? All right. I'm working with a slightly different audio setup than normal. Check. Oh, wow. Check. It's a bit louder. I hope it's not this. Oh, Jesus. There. I'm probably too loud. Check. Oh, fudge. There we go. All right. I think that's an agreeable level. Son of a bitch. All right, so, wow. Not so good. Fudge knuckles. Hey, look. I don't know who it was. By the way, this is the Daily Noonerino. It's always noon somewhere, right? But, wow. Gee, a lot to unpack. All right, so as clear as mud, this situation continues. However, it's starting to take a direction that is evident just by the implication is by the history, and if you start to look at key events that kind of lie up, and there's kind of like habitual behavior as well as some sort of MO. Like there's a style of conducting business that's starting to show itself consistently, I guess you could say. Now, first off, I'm not going to be talking about what's his nuts from the Ukraine Prime Minister Straczynski, whatever. I'm getting his name mixed up like with a whole bunch, like Lavrov. See, I've been, yeah, this is how my brain works. I just completely expunge all of the names out of my head because I'm trying to think of the geopolitical ramifications from 10 years ago. Now, it's fun to know, and fun fact, 8 years have passed since the video I'm about to show you. And, yeah, you're going to find out that I haven't learned a goddamn thing about podcasting. But check this out. It's going to be kind of a fun little... it's not going to be one of those I told you so's, just so you know. Well, I already did. Like, I already told you so. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be... you're going to kind of be a little potato-headed over this whole bit. So, let me lose the extra screen there. Make sure these don't fall off my head. All right, there we go. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to play it through the whole thing, but it's about 10 minutes. Now, this goes into how we know that the Nazis were installed. And like I said, this was in 2014, around November. And it's like, oh, crap. It was already too late.
Canada. This is Robert Morris for Save Humanity. And I'm a little disappointed. Some disturbing news came up this morning. My good friend John Savoy caught wind of, well, let's just read his statement here. UN General Assembly's Third Committee passed a Russia-proposed resolution condemning attempts to glorify Nazism ideology and denial of German Nazi war crimes. The US, Canada, and Ukraine were the only countries to vote against it.
Christ, it sounded like somebody died.
Right, so, got the document right here. And conference room, third committee. So there's 115 countries that said yes to combating the glorification of Nazism, neo-Nazism, and other practices that contribute to fueling contemporary forms of racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance. So,
like that didn't happen at all since 2014. Fuck.
115, we're all for combating that. 55 abstained. They just were sitting on the fence. Either didn't give a shit or just didn't want to answer. And 3 countries said no. I don't know if you know who those 3 are, but let's have a look. I see an N next to Canada. Yep. No. Okay. Also, United States, no. And Ukraine, no. Why would you, in your wildest dreams, imagine our countries not wanting to combat Nazism? Doesn't it just sound absurd? Why would that be? And why would other countries like Japan, I think, is on the list. Where are they here? Yep, Japan. They abstained. The United Kingdom abstained. Isn't that a little bit odd? I mean, you can go through this list yourself. There's a long list of major countries that abstain, like France, Greece, countries that you think in some way or another would be affected by their neighbors' progress, but no. There's an obvious divide happening, but that's not my issue. My issue is why would our countries say no? Why would the United States and Canada say no? Well, did a little looking around there, and some of you out there are probably already well aware of this, but I'm going to remind some of you and teach the rest of you something you probably don't even realize that's happening under your nose. There's an article here, and it's about how the U.S. has installed a neo-Nazi government in the Ukraine. Yeah, so in this article, this is what the New York Times would tell you. The United States and the European Union have embraced the revolution here as another flowering of democracy, a blow to authoritarianism and kleptocracy in the former Soviet space. After initial triumph, Ukraine's leaders face battle for credibility. New York Times, blah, 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 blah. Flowering democracy revolution. Well,
Well, hang on. I'm just going to pause that for a second because now that I'm a bit older, a bit wiser, and I'm a little funnier, I would attribute kleptocracy to the utter theft of culture and emplacement of surrogate assholes that you can always blame on bullshit that goes down later down the road. Not like anything is happening like that right now. But let's hear what I have to say.
what we have here, what is that? What is at stake is what is at stake is a U.S., EU, NATO
Man, I could totally go for a steak right now.
sponsored coup d'etat in blatant violation of international law. And it goes on to say the forbidden truth is that the West has engineered, through a carefully staged covert operation, the formation of a proxy regime integrated by neo-Nazis. And of course, the mainstream media in the West has casually avoided to analyze the composition and ideological underpinnings of the government coalition. The word neo-Nazi is a taboo. It has been excluded from the dictionary of mainstream media commentary. It will not appear in the pages of the New York Times, the Washington Post, or the Independent. Journalists have been instructed not to use the term neo-Nazi to designate Svoboda and the right sector. And
Yeah, that doesn't sound at all familiar now, does it?
yes, the cabinet is not only integrated by the Svoboda and right sector, not to mention former members of defunct fascist Una UNSO, the two main neo-Nazi entities have been entrusted with key positions which grant them de facto control over the armed forces, police, justice, and national security. Go figure. And Yatsenuk, Farland Party, controls the majority of portfolios, and Svoboda neo-Nazi leader Ole Tayanabak was not granted a major cabinet post, apparently at the request of Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland. Members of Svoboda and the right sector occupy key positions in the areas of defense, law enforcement, education, go figure, and economic affairs. The big ones, the important ones. Control what people know, control their money, control the people, and defend them, but militarize and be a police state. It's a perfect storm of
Which we are going to showcase.
anyhow. It goes on. It says a bunch of history on these particular characters. But as you can see, though, in this one photograph, definitely looks like he's doing some Nazi stuff. And there's a picture of him there, as as a regular business politician. Joe couldn't be further from the truth. He's a follower of Stepan Bandera, who collaborated in the mass murder of Jews and Poles during World War II. So that's who he follows. And I honestly have to say you should go through here and read a lot of this. Washington actually completely supported all of this. This is a proxy government which enables U.S., NATO, and the EU to interfere in Ukraine's internal affairs and dismantle its bilateral relations with the Russian Federation. Go figure. It should be understood, however, that the neo-Nazis do not ultimately call the shots. The composition of the cabinet broadly coincides with U.S. Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland's recommendations contained in the leaked telephone call to the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Guys, what this is clearly manipulation and collaboration with neo-Nazis. Where do we draw the line? I don't know, people.
I still don't. I still fucking
This is
don't.
scary shit, guys. Our countries are backing up neo-Nazi leaders, and
It's getting scarier by the hour and the extra terrifying minute for some people. It's not like anyone said that proxy governments made up of Nazis. See, proxy and Nazi kind of rhyme, right? So, I don't know. Either us North Americans, we lack originality, or we're really, really good at coming up with catchy titles. The Nazi proxy is totally working out. And who wants war? Well, last I hear, Hillary Clinton kind of made a few statements that suggest that maybe we're being a little bit too lenient with Putin. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Being too lenient. Look, I'm no expert. I'm not even intelligent. Like, well, I mean, I have opposable thumbs and I can manipulate the planet around me and I can do stuff. For that, I have free agency. But I present to you, hasn't Hillary looked a little bit happy every time they killed something? Like, I'm just saying, doesn't she look very, very, very... Oh, man, I should do it. I won't do it, though. I was going to find a picture of that. So, basically, I was getting into the whole, it's probably not a great idea to put Nazis in power in a proxy government. But that's exactly why they did it. Because it's totally a horrible idea. However, they are also the most qualified to intersperse within the social fabric, because you can't take Western principles into like a completely, either in the case like with the Balkan Wars with like the Slovakians or with the Russians, they're not interchangeable. They're compatible, but they're not interchangeable. So if you bring in like another culture that completely understands it, could take advantage of it, well, of course they're going to step into place. They also did take, by the way, they had a very, very hefty loan. I call it a loan, but fuck, it's free money because you can never pay it back. These are loans that you'll never be able to pay back. All you do is just through your servitude that you still get more. So fuck that. But anyway, I won't get into that. That's a whole another podcast. But I mean, god damn it. These fucking animals. Yeah, they took money from the IMF, who gave them a very large requirement-based donation, basically. I can't remember the numbers. Like I don't even want to say it because it would be totally wrong if I did. But it was a substantial amount. But it was only if they accepted the offer to take control, and that was the course that was laid down by basically NATO, which primarily is Canada and the United States. That's pretty much the North American Treaty Organization. Yeah, Mexico's in there, but, they're in there. That's all. By the way, to my Mexican brothers and sisters, man, go ahead. Este es... no bueno. Don't be running over any borders right now. You might be like rolling right into a forest fire. But god dang it. Let's look at other examples here. Here's so these are Chechen special forces. If I'm not mistaken, that's very Russian. They seem to be doing a fairly expedient and gentle job of removing people. Let's see here. Got, yeah. What the hell am I watching? Oh, I see. So that's what's been released. But it came from the Ukrainian Azov. So the Azov, by the way, the Azov battalion, just so if you're unfamiliar with the terminologies, that is the force that got brought into the Ukraine by the standing neo-Nazi government. By the way, it's okay to use Nazi symbols right now. That's why I opened up with mine. Because I said, fuck it. Why not? Hey, jump at the opportunity. It's the only time you can do it. Because apparently it's okay. It's okay until it won't be. Because you know what? The reason they brought them in there in the first place, because they knew this is exactly what would happen. This is what they were looking for. This would grant them entry by way of their own contracts that they have written and agreements. However, there's certain conditions and requirements that have to be met. Now, when the grace of the government in control of their population isn't in tune with the civilian and, well, basically the entire population that makes up the country, well, then there's going to be some resistance. And that's why NATO hasn't moved in yet, because they don't have any actual power unless certain conditions are met. It's brutal because it is skating that fine line right now. It is very much just skating. And every single politician, including Hillary Clinton, Hillary, oh yeah, she's in it. She's in there too. She's like, yeah, we're being too lenient. We're being too fucking lenient. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Now, what else we got? What else we got here? Oh, Hunter Biden's laptop. Jesus, I can't believe that's even the thing. It's just kind of funny. All right, this one here. It's another. Oh wait, that's the one I showed you. Oh, brief look one. Yeah, man. I got a few. Oh yeah, this one I wanted to show you.
Выехали откуда? Как вы смогли выехать? Причем, а украинская армия не помогала вам?
Украинская армия стреляла по людям.
Прям в дом.
Я не хочу.
Вы рады, что вы выехали?
Конечно, рада. Спасибо вам огромное.
26 числа не в подвале сидим. 26 числа. Сейчас еще я выехал сюда брать.
Кому-то душ нужен.
А?
Душ. В подвале сидело 300 человек. Это в одном только доме.
Почему вы раньше не выехали?
А нас никто не выпускал оттуда.
Не давали коридор. Украина не выпускала из города полностью. Все заблокированы были. Приезжали военные, говорят, ни в коем случае не выезжайте из города, если вам будет предоставлен коридор в Российской Федерации. Они хотели дальше нами прикрываться и все.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave you with that for the moment, but, you know, at the end of the day, I think what's happening is a lot more nuanced, and there's a lot more going on, not only underneath the whole thing. However, the main players are using the ignorance of the public to build a case against their opposition, and that's what I'm seeing right now. Hey, say whatever the hell you want about me. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Apparently, there. Oh, this one? No, that one. That's the one. Fucking, I gotta name these things better. But yeah, man. It's not right. Like, this shit's fucking gotta go. Like, say what you want about me. I don't give a fuck. I ain't going anywhere unless I'm physically removed. But I'm saying, man, this is heightened levels of shit. It's not like I said I told you so or nothing, but I did tell you so 8 years ago that it would be a bad idea. But what do I know? Now those same people are doing atrocities, blaming it on the Russians. And the ignorant public is like, oh, hey, you know what? Putin's got to go. Putin right now is loved by his people, where they have a little bit of control over the media coming inside. Well, at least the people inside are getting the information anyway. We're not. None of us are. Well, when I say none, I mean none of us publicly are getting it from our cable networks and stuff that we utilize for our daily information feed. And no, it's not happening. They are starting to lose their grip, though, on people. But there's still a lot of work to be done. We need to get this information out to people. That's all we need to do. And if we don't do that and we don't succeed in that, then it's not like we're going to live under Nazi control, because those Nazis will get taken care of, but we'll be under the WEF, because I guarantee you that those guys are just pawns, and it's, conspiracy theory. No, it's not. This is what's been happening, and it's about time you woke up and fucking listened. Anyway, on that note, I'm out. See ya. Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Breaker TV, .tv, and the other 3 to 5 that I've broadcast to tonight. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.